What's up, guys and gals, and I think this might be it. This may be our final episode. Now, we've got 71 renown to play around with, and that leads me to believe I should probably go to the market and buy some nice stuff to make my life a lot easier. Now then, we've got +3 armor on rest for the obsidian bell, which is really insanely good. Let's do our upgrades first, and we'll see what's left, because I get the feeling we probably want to have people maxed out before we go into this battle. I'd prefer to have a party that could hold its ground. The first person that we're obviously going to upgrade is going to be Rook, I think. His stats are in a place where... Has our morale gotten any better? It has not. Part of me wants to rest for a day, just so we can have better morale going into the final battle. That loss in willpower has really kind of struck a blow with me with Avon, but in any case, I don't know if it can be helped at this point. We've got a lot of people to take a look at, and we've got to decide who our best options are for the final battle. Now, we've got Gris, who can force people to fight with him, and he's also ready for rank 3. Yikes, I don't think he's quite ready for the front line. He's decent at armor sundering, though. To be honest, I feel like they really gave us more time with this group over here, which has made us quite good with one group, and the other group I really don't see a whole lot of reasons to bring anybody along. Obviously, we've got Hakon, who's a really good character. He's killed a lot of people, and so I may bring him. But let's upgrade our main people first. So Ivor's out. I'd like Ivor to be level 5. I would really like to bring him into the final battle, if we can have him. He can do 5 armor damage with a knockback if we go into his next ability. And that's better than what he would be dealing there at the cost of 3, and he's got plenty. God, I just don't know what to do with my points right now. That's really the terror that I'm being forced to live behind. What was Mogir's ability one more time? That's right, he has Break the Attack, which he strikes an enemy, and it bashes their armor, and then he retaliates whenever he gets hit. Well, we've got so many people on our roster right now that I really have no clue who to pick. I feel like I'm just sort of grasping for straws at this point, trying to decide. Amongst people, I think we'll probably drop Hogan to bring Hakon, maybe? Or maybe him for Mogir. So I want to assemble my final team, because I feel like we are going up against the final battle right now. We need him to be way further back in the rotation. Let's go ahead and start from scratch here. We're obviously going to have Ivor. He's very, very wounded at this point, which means that he's not going to be tremendously useful to us. Which leads me to believe we may want to bring Mogir instead of him, so let's drop him. We do have some upgrades to go around. I think it's going to be 10 for him to go up to... Oh, no, it's 15. Okay. I want to get my team assembled, and then we'll assign the points. So we're going to have him. We're obviously going to have Gunnulf. I'd like to have Avon. We're going to have Rook. We're going to have Alette. And then the final consideration to be made is a very, very difficult one for me, because I just don't know who to pick. Like a human backline with a Varl frontline seems like it's the best choice. Maybe go with... What is Gris looking like right now? I could upgrade him and actually make him useful for us. He's really strong at armor breaking, but I feel like he was sort of a desperation attempt for me. Let's go with Gris, and we'll step him up to the front of the line, and this is what we're going to be dealing with. So we'll upgrade him. We'll try and get as many upgrades across the line as we can right here. And with our final group going in, I mean, if we get 3 days and Ivor comes back in, great. We'll swap him out for Mogir, and we'll swap Mogir for Gris, so we'll move them back to there and then swap him into the front. But for now, assuming we go into a final battle, this is going to be what I hold. So let's go ahead and take a look at our lowest level people. So I'm going to do Rook for sure. I really, really, really want our archers to be just sundering armor like crazy going into the final battle. We'll promote him up for a full 20. That's going to put him at level 5. And I'm going to go with just a 1 and a 1 right there, because I feel like that's the best I can do given what I have at the moment. I could give him more willpower to counteract the fact that we have low morale, but that's going to be it. That's going to be the plan that we've had the entire time. That's going to be the plan that we're going to go with. We also have his ability to use Mark Prey, so I need to be aware of that. I know I don't use Mark Prey much, but that's because I tend to keep a tight front line and there's no area for him to squeeze through in the best of cases. Because he's level 5 now, we're going to take Horse Score. off of him. And we're going to look at some of the higher level stuff that we could have thrown on him to begin with. We can give him +3 strength, which I think is a really, really good idea. He's got the 5-ring necklace. There's going to be armor, armor break. We've got strength deflected there, and that's the best we've got. Well, since he's in the back line anyways, I might give him the chance of drawing aggro in the attempt to have more willpower, more strength, more armor break. Basically, that makes everything nicer for him. And since he's way in the back anyways where the enemy can't get at him, that's kind of one of those things that I think is going to work out pretty well in our favor. Let's go with our tanks first. So Mogir, we're going to upgrade you. It's going to take us 45 to get him maxed out. But I am going to go for it. He's already at 18, which is really, really good. We'll put him in right there. I think his armor breakage could do with a little bit of extra oomph since he's going to be on the front lines. Maybe a little bit of extra strength too. So we'll confirm that. And he doesn't have the kills to go up to the next rank, so that works out fine in our favor. And that leaves us with 36 to play around with, which I think is probably best spent on Gris, another frontline combatant that we can hold together. Well, Bellower had 20-20 as I recall, so we've got his ability right there. So the first shot from him is going to do 6, the first shot from her is going to do 8, so that's 14 down. We should be okay, and we may be able to get Bellower trapped behind the lines too. I don't know how the silver arrow is going to work either, so that might be something we have to work into our strategy too. In fact, it may be something that needs to be carried, so we'll figure that out. Hopefully the tooltip for it will be reasonably well written so that we can figure out where the blows need to be struck. I'm semi-tempted just to bring Hack on instead of Gris. His armor is not so terrible. We'll upgrade him. And his armor is not so miserable. I mean, his armor is bad. But I think we would probably be okay. I'm going to go with armor break and willpower on him. I don't know why, but I'm getting an inkling that that's probably the right thing to do. I could upgrade him a further time for 20 points. And since we don't have enough renown available to buy any legendary stuff anyways, I think that's what I'm going to do. So we'll go with an extra point to get him up to rank 5. And with this one, we'll give him an extra bit of armor. Just that extra little bit. We'll put him up to 18 strength and confirm it. Now for his item that I want him to have, we're going to give him Dunder's Hand, which is going to put him up to 21 strength, which means that he outweighs Bellower. I mean, he's in a situation right now where he should be able to just cleave him in half. Let's take this group and be on our way to the crafters. It takes a while, but you finally find someone willing to craft an arrow for you. He eyes you suspiciously when you show him the silver, but shakes his head and gets started. Let watch as the smith's fire reflecting in her distant stare. I talked with Avon a long time while you were gone. He told me a lot about Juno. Is she really as powerful as he said? It certainly seems that way. That might be the most luck we've had so far. Dad, I think I know what's gonna happen now. An arrow? She's gonna make you shoot Bellower, isn't she? I don't know for sure. Come on, who else is gonna do it? Ivor? Alette, I know where this is going. You're afraid of me dying. This isn't like before. We can't run this time. That's not what I... Let me do it. What? Why not? Because you'll think I'll get hurt? What do you do when Bellower suddenly comes straight for the person holding the only thing that can destroy him? Let me speak. Everything's changed. Skogir feels so long ago. I'm not asking because I'm afraid of losing you. I'm not afraid of anything anymore. Let me do it because you know I'm a better shot. I have a better chance of puncturing his armor. We only have that one shot. I'm not a child anymore. I'm not just some girl. I'm your daughter. I can do this. For once, let me decide what happens to me. Well, she's our armor sunderer, but I could, I guess, just swap the belt over to him, and then no harm, no foul. Let's let Alette do it. She smiles, takes your hand in hers. We'll survive this. I know we will. You sit by her side silently until the smith finishes his work. Well, this is it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Juno. And if we have to cut a long episode here, that's exactly what we'll do. There he is. Juno is in the middle of an animated debate as you approach, the arrow in your hand. There's little time left. Bellower knows we're here. Whether he's waiting for more of his forces to arrive or simply wants us to starve, I can't really tell, but he will not expect a direct attack. Is this a joke? How are we gonna do that? I'll take a handful of warriors to face him. I can keep a small group hidden from sight. The rest of you will lead the charge from there. With luck, Bellower will send his armies away from himself to meet you. What about the ravens? They may protest. They won't. I've arranged a task for them. Even if you make it to Bellower, what chance is there of defeating him? We saw what happened at Einertoft. That thing can't be killed. Juno shows him the arrow you had forged from the Godstone silver. We will make him bleed like the rest of us. Once he's pierced, he will be vulnerable. She looks you in the eyes. We only have one. Don't miss. And bring only those you absolutely need. It will take all my concentration to keep the other dredge from swallowing us up. I cannot join in on the battle. And if we kill Bellower, then what? The dredge will just wander away? That's my belief, yes, but I can't say for certain. This is a doomed plan. Help us hold out here until the ships are finished. And then what? Bellower will hound our every step, all the way to Arborang, where I'm certain more Sunder will wait. Now is the time to speak to loved ones and the memory of any god that pleases you. Rest. In the morning we slay Asunder. God. There's kind of a pall, like almost like a little silence that falls over this whole thing. I want to make sure, did they take my warriors from me? Because I'm going to be really upset if they take my people right about the time. If I upgraded everybody and this falls through, I'm going to be very, very sad and somewhat disheartened. And it wouldn't be behind the game to do that. It's done it to me before. Let's go ahead and be on our way. We're going to do an extra long episode in which we slay Bellower. This is it, guys. The silence is what you remember. You rise in silence and walk through empty streets. Upon the wall, two armies stand quietly watching each other. Your footsteps echo on the wooden floorboards as you approach Juno. She breaks the silence. It's time. Gather your allies. Today one thing will end and another will begin. Our actions will decide on which side we stand. If you wanted to look at the bonus of this whole thing, that giant snake thing is going to annihilate anybody anyways, so it doesn't really matter that we die, if you really wanted to be positive about it. Everybody's got, oh, Mogear doesn't have gear, damn it. And I didn't swap things around. I wonder if she just has the arrow innately and it's just a special ability. I hope that's the case. Let's say that we're ready. So here we are, facing down Bellower, and you'll notice my party composition's a little bit different. That's because I've spent almost an entire weekend banging my head against this fight. So if I sound spiteful or angry at any point during this, just you know why. It's because this fight has not been kind to me. This fight has definitely touched me in places that I don't feel are appropriate. I can beat the first fight fairly consistently, but the second fight I just can't seem to get down. Now then, the problems that we're facing. Bellower has an ability called Indomitable. What Indomitable does is it makes him regenerate like all of his health every single time he takes a turn. That's a bad thing, because if he lands, he gets all of his health and all of his armor. Basically 8 armor and 8 health, which is a shit ton of a lot. And if he gets a turn that's before Alette, this is where the RNG comes in. If his turn is before Alette, look at her low strength. Based on the fact that we gave the arrow to Alette, it makes this fight way more difficult for us, and there's no way I can fix that. Had I given it to Rook, I don't think the fight would be so much, like, it wouldn't be as difficult, because Rook's strength is so much higher that we would only have to get his armor down to 12. Where it stands, she's going to take at least 2 damage before we close with him, based on his second ability, which deals 1 damage to everyone on the battlefield. So she'll be at 7 bare minimum before we can close with Bellower. I've tried turtling, I've tried every dimension of strategy you can think of. I've tried rushing this way, I've tried rushing this way, I've tried turtling here, I've tried fighting in the middle and firing arrows across until you get at him. And nothing has worked for me thus far consistently, except for rushing this way, hitting him with the arrow, and then really just hoping the second fight goes well. So we do fight him again after this. I don't want to post spoilers, but there it is. That's just the way she goes, to quote Trailer Park Boys. Now then, I'm going to get up in here, and what we want to do is make it so that he's hitting Ivor pretty soon along in this fight. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock him back to make sure that Bellower can get at me. This ensures that Bellower has a space on the battlefield where we can fight him from. That gives the rest of our line the ability to move up and forward. I'm going to move him to there with the intent of knocking this guy out right now so that he doesn't have as much strength. As it seems to go with this guy right here, what you really want to be able to do is take a couple hacks at him before anything gets really rowdy. He's going to use a knockback. Yeah, he always uses a knockback. I don't know why. He's knocked back Bellower, though, which works out in our favor, I guess. I'm going to move Alette to there, just so she's within firing range of the enemy nice and early. He's going to back off and summon an ally. That's all right. He's about to die, so why not? Let's go ahead and use a little bit of strength here. And then we'll move another tank into position to take his place once this whole thing's done and over with. Bellower's going to move to there, where he's going to score the kill. On this side, what we're going to do now is we're going to Tempest and really, really hope I don't know if that's the wisest decision, actually, because it'll rearrange the turn order. As it stands right now, we know that Alette won't go after Bellower unless something goes very, very wrong. So I think instead what I'll do is we'll start sundering that armor a little bit. I'm going to kill him off, and we're going to really hope that the rearrange doesn't go against us. Okay, so Bellower's still in an alright spot. And now we're in a position where we can hit him with arrows, which is precisely what we need to start doing. He's going to get a turn before we go back around the horn again. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to still put as much armor breakage on him as I can. I've swapped out the belt to Rook so that he can hit for a ton. So there's 8 right there. That'll put him down to a 5. And now we'll knock his strength down so he's not as scary. Over there, obviously that guy's gonna go for Alette. I think we should have this one scuttled, I think. We should be okay. Rook is taking some damage now. Alright, so now he's back up at 5. We need 1 willpower minimum to shoot him with the arrow. She's at 8, he's at 5. Okay, we should be good. So we're going to run her straight through the line. 2 willpower, or no, 1 willpower. Okay, good. And then we're going to shoot him with the arrow. Fantastic. So the first round has gone as well as I had hoped. And what's that? We have to fight him again? Yes, indeedly doodly. Unfortunately, you're stuck fighting him again. On the lucky half, what we need is Mogir over here. We're going to have Mogir run this line, and hopefully it works out the way we want it to. Alright, so we're coming down the left side. That's our plan. We're gonna knock him back with our first go. Oh, he's gonna do the same thing. Damn it. So we just caught RNG right there. Usually he moves on his first turn. And so I can almost 100% tell you that we've lost already. Anytime he's done that, I've never even come close. So the unfortunate circumstance is that we're now getting our armor whittled off with no way to retaliate. The other downside is that one of our tanks is basically already handled. A deflection right there, so we got lucky. On the plus side, we might get away with something here. I don't know. Right now, we're sort of hoping for some kind of miracle. The Stone Singer typically runs his buff the first turn, which is bad. That's also very, very bad. It's amazing how frequently they're able to do 1 damage through armor. He should have like a 30% chance for that to work. And every single time, there it is, somehow. Every single time it works out. Don't ask me how. I'm gonna knock his health down, and along the way, unfortunately, I'm sacrificing, yeah, anytime Bellower takes a hit, which, by the way, they don't tell you this either. Anytime he takes a hit, so when these guys do their little shatter thing, guess what? He takes 1 damage, he gets a free turn. And that's another one of those little funsies things they don't tell you. So don't kill Bellower until you're ready to go, I guess is my main point. Over here, we gotta get going on him. Let's go ahead and we're gonna deal 9 damage to his armor. There's his free turn. I'm gonna need a tank in between him and this crushing zone that he's gonna be creating over here. So we'll keep working that guy. He's gonna move back and summon another ally. I'm gonna see if I can't taunt Bellower out by doing something a little bit more sneak thiefish. We'll try and kill him so that he stops buffing people. That's my major fear right now. How far can he move? Far enough. And a new ally having joined the field is a very, very bad thing for us. However, we can do a 10 right here. And so there it is. On this side, I can keep working that jaw. What's his exertion? 1. We'll give him the extra point so that he can keep working that health. We're gonna use Sundering Impact there. One more. Now the bonus to this is he gets stuck in a loop, which means that we should be able to... There it is. Oh my god, you guys have no idea how good it feels right now after staring at this fight for probably a good 48 hours over and over and over again. Oh my. Wow, I don't think I've ever been this happy about a win before in a video game in probably the last 5 or 6 years. Alette, no, not her. Where are the menders? Rook, she's beyond their help. Stand up. You're only barely aware of the surrounding chaos as Dredge flee from Varl warriors who push their advantage. Bellower is dead, and you are not. We must go. Let me carry Alette to Borsgard. We'll honor her properly. Oh my, like, it's such a huge win for me that, frankly, I just feel like I just want to fall asleep and take a nap right now. Wow. Juno was right. With Bellower fallen, the Dredge flee the field of battle. You return to Borsgard, but have almost no memory of doing so aside from the image of Alette's still body being carried in Ivor's arms. So, we should have the time we need to finish the ships. I think you're right. The Dredge don't seem interested in us anymore. Since Bellower fell, they've been going their own way. The Ravens have been keeping the docks clear. Juno's talking to them about something right now. When those longships are ready, we'll be able to sail all the way to Arborang. With luck, before the darkness shows up here. How far south does it spread? I couldn't say. Hopefully not far. We'll get the prince back to his home, and Hakon has already decided to come with us. There's not much else to go back to. You two look up as you approach, or the two look up as you approach. Rook, it's time. Soon we'll be ready to leave Borsgard. Find somewhere safe. One ship is done already, at the docks. I had it prepared for Alette. I'm not ready to see this. Come, Rook, it's time to honor your daughter. Well then, we're gonna let the credits roll. So first and foremost, I mean, you've obviously got to thank Stoic Studios for making such a tremendously amazing game. You'll forgive the little lump in my throat right now, God. Feeling a little less than manly at the moment. But anyways, that was a pretty heart-jerking moment in the game. I mean, they've done a tremendous job at manipulating your feelings while you play through the game. And not in the sense that most people say manipulating your feelings like it's a negative thing, but this was a game that I really didn't feel comfortable making a lot of jokes while I was playing through it. It just seemed like it would sort of detract from the overall mystique and ambiance of the game. But anyways, thank you to Stoic Studios for allowing me to post this on YouTube. A lot of developers do not allow their games to be posted, and so it wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for them. Thank you for all of you joining me here. I know there's a lot of new faces following the Nerd Castle since I started this series. Thank you for joining me and following this all the way through. My name is Splattercat. Of course, I will see you in our newest series as soon as I decide what to air. Take care out there, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed Stoic Studios' The Banner Saga. See you next time.